Well, hello, guys, ladies and gents. We're on for our second installment of War Stories. For anybody who hasn't been on any of my streams before, I actually try to keep this relatively simple. Let me turn down this other thing so you don't hear me twice. Hopefully, you can hear me okay on the mic. If you cannot, be sure to mention that in stream. We will take care of that. But this is War Stories 2 and other reactions. I do it a little different than some of the other reactors. I will take requests. Matter of fact, I got a couple from Meanie Manny and a few other people. But I, what I want to do is I just want to sort of scour and search for things too at the same point and try to find them. I'm thinking about doing maybe a Tom MacDonald one on this. I haven't heard all his music. I do like his music. I may do something from some other people you guys may know, like Asa, I think's that guy, Samson, somebody like that, because I haven't heard it all. Purposely haven't heard it all because I was trying to save it for these streams. I think I do need to do one thing here though for my Discord peoples. The group that's been sort of trying to back me on this a little bit with Cloud and Meanie and Wendy and all them. I should send them my link. If you guys ever look at the thumbnail picture on this, that's the ANTPS 75 radar system. That radar system is the radar system I actually worked on. I'm going to copy this link real quick. Send this over. If you guys don't notice, my background is my bed, as you can see right here. I don't have a desk yet. I do have a PC over there waiting for it. Right now I'm using my gaming laptop to stream. Once I get a desk, everything will be set up and we'll have a nicer little setup system. But this is sort of a reactions while in bed, I guess. I don't know. I do this for gaming and stuff like that too. Let me paste this on for these people so they can see that I am. They're going to get the notification anyways because they're on it, but at the same point, I want to make sure they're getting it. Our first story is going to be on. It's a World War II story. This guy is a soldier, and he is going to be hunting a sniper during World War II. For those who don't know, I'm a huge history buff, especially when it comes to American history and American wars. Things like World War II, I'm huge on. I used to love listening to some of my grandfather's stories when I was a kid. Sadly, he passed away in 2015. He was Army Air Corps engineer bomber, and you'll hear me reference him a lot. He was an engineer gunner for a B-26 Marauder. You'll hear me reference him a lot because I respect the guy beyond respect. And just for the giggles of it, I'm going to hit this just so I can. I don't see that popping up in my chat. Well, it's probably because there it is. We're going to put it on live chat so I can see that a little bit better instead of top chat. Okay, so this first story we're going to be getting into is a World War II soldier hunts sniper in the jungle, conversations with a veteran. So, just so you guys can see it, I'm going to shrink it down real quick. This is from Memoirs of World War II site. I don't know why it doesn't have me subscribed. I did subscribe to them. Maybe I double tapped it by accident. But you want to subscribe to channels like this if you have anything with history or war. You know, there's memoirs, there's war stories, is another one. There's a few other ones. The reason I say you want to do that is they've interviewed a lot of these vets, got these stories, so this is first-hand information. What's next on this? That was the last place I wanted to be. Yeah, that's. I think that's pretty much all of us when we go into such a thing as war or battle. The last place you want to be is there. But you went and did it. You went and did what more than 99% of the world won't ever do or won't ever have to do. and I'll praise you all day long for that. So let's get into this. World War II soldier hunts sniper in the jungle. I have not watched this one yet.
And I heard it click, and I knew exactly what it was. I said, uh-oh. So I jumped up and looked, and this Japanese come out in that trailer and had his rifle up. But then I wheeled that rifle out, and I shot 4 times from the hip. I had to shoot quick.
Hip fire. Let's get this name. Otis Brannon served with the 2nd Engineer Special Brigade in the Pacific Theater of World War II. Quite a handsome little dude right there. There's something about people in uniform. It's sort of like the suit. When you see somebody in a suit, well dressed, well groomed, which I'm not right now. Like I would definitely be out of specs in the military. I was in specs while I was in, but right now, with beard and everything like that, which makes me look like an old homeless man, but hey, might as well be. But this is Otis Brannon's story.
I went in the Army as a volunteer, 17 and 44. And I went down to Camp 7, Mississippi to get my clothes. And of course, then they didn't tell you where you was going or when you was coming or what ship you was on or nothing, because they didn't want nobody to know it. And if you wrote in the mail home, they censored all of it. And if you said a certain word, because they didn't want you to know where you was at. So got on a troop train. It stayed down about 3 days and got on a troop train. The guys, much of us from Alabama, of course, and got on a troop train and come back at night. And the train pulled into this fort, military place. And I said, what the hell? You know, I didn't know where we was at because nobody told us. I said, damn, what is this place? And so somebody come walking by, and I hollered out, what is the word? I said, where the hell am I at? He said, you're in Camp Fort McClellan. I said, Fort McClellan? But anyway, I done that and stayed there a little over a month. Should have been there longer at jungle warfare. I don't know why jungle warfare. It's quite a bit different from regular infantry. And I was in what you might say the infantry. Then I went back to Los Angeles and shipped out on a ship to the Philippines and went to Luzon. And that's where I ended up in the engineers, the 532nd Engineers, the 2nd Battalion.
When Otis arrived in Luzon, the area was largely secured, but hiding in the surrounding jungle, a Japanese sniper plagued the American soldiers. Picking them off one by one. That's what a sniper does.
They put us in a secured place. It was supposed to be. You know, they've been fighting all around there. All at once, we ended up in this secured base, and the guy getting shot in jeeps or trucks. The guy would drive out to pick up supply down the wood. It moved us off the beach and was off the beach back in the wood. So this guy was, we call him Checkerboard Charlie. In other words, the guy drive out in a jeep here, and he'd shoot him over there. Most times shoot him in the head with a sniper. Then next time, maybe over here. So he moved around like a checkerboard, so we call him Checkerboard Charlie. So the old Colonel Keyes was my colonel. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. So me and him kind of hit it off because I was Birmingham too. He knew people that I knew. Of course, he'd been in the military for 40 years. So I'm part Apache Indian. And I thought I was Cherokee, but I'm Apache, almost half Apache. Kin to Geronimo, what you might say. And we talked about different things that we did when we was a kid. When I was young, growing up, we played the game of tracking. I don't know if you ever heard of it. They had some Filipino trackers, you know, there's quite a few of them they got. But played the game track. So he talked to me, he said, Brandon said, you know, they never call you by your first name. He said, Brandon, do you think you could find this guy? I said, man, in the jungle, I'm a new guy over here. I ain't gonna look out the jungle for nobody though. He said, do you think you could find him? I said, I don't know that now. I said, I'm not, you know, I'm not the bravest man in the world. I'm not going to get out and get shot looking somebody hit out in the woods. And he said, well, I'm thinking about sending you out to hunt him. He said, I'm going to give you 2 more people with you. And I think he picked the dumbest guy. I think he thought we were going to all get shot, to tell you the truth, but he picked the dumbest guys within the company that, I say dumb, they were dumb. And he's going to go with you. Oh, my God. He said, you're going to get, but then I got a guy shot the next morning when we sent out. So we knew what area he was in. So we left at daybreak, about 5:30, to go out into the woods. And the jungle, I keep saying woods is jungle, if you know what a jungle is, the vines and junk and everything else out there. So picked up his track right off. They wore shoes that just, I don't know where you've seen that, they got a toe in them. You ever seen them, Japanese shoes? Well, the soldiers wore shoes and the feet was, the whole foot was there except the toe, and the toe was by itself. Just a toe, and then it kind of, and they come up here and they wrapped your legs with legging, and then that shoe. Well, I picked up that track right off in that area, so we started tracking him and tracking it about 12 o'clock. We've been out there about 6 hours.
Just so you know, I'm not pausing a whole lot because I like the story. I want to hear the story. I want them to tell the story. But if you think it's going in and out of focus, it's actually the video itself when the guy's moving back and forth. I'm not sure what camera they were using, but it seems to go in and out of focus a bit. But you got to understand, okay, like the guy was saying, this is the jungle, like you put on the woods, the jungle. You know, the woods, you got space between trees and you got other things going on. In the jungle, like he was talking about, there's vines, there's other things on the ground, there's various insects and snakes and stuff that you're going to see this in the woods too, but you're not going to see it in this density. You think of the difference between woods is like double up the density in the woods, and you'll feel more like you're in a jungle. And it's also a lot more humid usually. I don't know how to explain it much better than that. It's just thick. Take the woods and make it thick. Everything in is thick. The weather is thick. The trees are thick. Well, them themselves, they tend to be small, but they're thick, covered with stuff. The ground is thick, covered with stuff. Just every single spot in a jungle is occupied by something trying to stay alive. And that's pretty much the difference. So this guy's going into an area he doesn't know very well. Like he said, he was new. He does have some tracking experience, mostly as a kid, but still, you learn. That's how you learn. You learn from being a kid going up. But he's about to do one of the craziest things he's going to ever have to do in his life, going after somebody who's, if you're a good sniper, you know who's coming, who's around, you got your trap set, or all that stuff. I'd explain further, but let's just say it was part of my job.
Hours along there. So these you dummies with me, I told them, I said, they won't take a break. I said, well, hell, I don't know about that. I said, we need to, if we're going to catch up to this dude. So I finally said, yeah, we'll take a break. But I said, don't smoke no cigarettes. And I said, don't be running your mouth. Y'all. So it was a little dead coconut tree laying across a little trail about this wide. I don't know where's the animal trail or what there. And so we'd sit down on this little trail, a little coconut tree laying across. And I told him, I said, I don't all sit and look the same direction. I said, y'all sit and look that way up the trail, and I'll sit and look this way down the trail. Okay. We sat there about, I guess, 5, 6, 7 minutes, just kind of in the stumbling, just sitting there waiting. And I heard it click. And I knew exactly what it was. I said, uh-oh. So I jumped up and looked. I knew it was behind me. I jumped up and looked, and this Japanese, I got his picture there. He was standing about 130 or 40 feet in that trail. Come out in that trail, and he had his rifle up. And I wheeled like that. When I wheeled, I think I knocked one of the guys upside the head. But then I wheeled that rifle around, and I shot 4 times, shot 4 times from the hip. I had to shoot quick. And I didn't know really, I didn't know who he had the rifle on anyhow. But anyhow, I hit him 3 times and knocked him backwards and killed him. But anyhow, that guy, he'd been in the military for a long time, but I don't know how he played that dumb. But, I had some people to research these medals he's got on and his kids and all that. I got all that there. And they told me he'd fought all over in Burma and all in places. So I don't know how long been there. Maybe probably all his life about it. But the reason I'd like to get those pictures back is because his kids, and I always felt bad about it, because they was 3 or 4 or 5 years old. So I'd like to get them back.
There's something to be said. It was a little different with the whole terrorist thing, but when it came to war and actual warriors, there was something to be said about there's a level of camaraderie. hopefully I'm not lagging too much for you guys. It just looks weird on my screen. But there was some level of camaraderie between the groups when it came to actual war and soldiers. Not so much, like I said, what we went through with the terrorist stuff, but when it came to soldiers like this, like he's talking about, he wanted to get these pictures back to the people. So let's see what goes on here. Looks like he still has them too.
And told them what happened to him, because they never knowed they buried him out there, and I know that nobody had dug him up. There lots of Japanese and
hey, Meanie, how's it going? Cloud.
You know, the MIA. There's a lot of people that don't know where they disappeared. The war ain't what people thinks it is. I don't know, and most people have never really had experience, but it's a hell of a place to be, and it's nothing fun about it. But a lot of people thinks it is, but like I say, you're scared to death 99% of the time. Sometimes your mind gets off, but you don't never know when you're in a war zone. You don't never know when you're going to get shot.
So when he went out to track that dude, I bet you his mind was on 24/7 type mode.
Actually, I found out after the war when I was in Japan that I met up with a guy. He said he was a pilot on Pearl Harbor. Now, whether he was or not, I don't know. But he told me that they were told that for us to get in the military, we had to kill a brother, sister, or mother, or daddy. You couldn't get in the military. The Army couldn't get in the military unless you did that. See, that's reading their faults on them samurais. You know, their fault to the very last one. But anyhow, I guess the people in Okinawa, the civilians, women, kids, you've probably seen the picture or heard, but that island, on the other side was a bluff, and they was throwing their kids off and jumping off behind. The women was, and they couldn't. We was trying to save them, and they was trying to destroy themselves, which is really bad. But kids is a bad thing in a war zone. It's bad. I don't care where it's at. It's bad. I know when I went in Japan, at Yokohama, anyhow, we set up a portable kitchen outside, and them little kids, they're walking good. Some of them older, but most of them are small. Anyhow, the little kid run around, you know, it's pretty hard to sit down and eat. Yeah.
This is their.
Yes, it's not a good thing to see kids go hungry, that's for sure.
This was their version of PTSD, and I mean, they had names for it back then, like shell shock and stuff. But if you notice, unlike even my generation, for that matter, to tell you the truth, they found a way to deal with it. It still haunts them, but they found a way to deal with it, and it's something I don't think we've been able to do in our own generations. These last 3, maybe even 4, if you want to count my dad's generation, because I don't think a lot of them got over the Vietnam thing so well. But it seems like these World War II and Korean vets, they did much better at it. It's not to say it ain't there. You see it. You see him crying. You see that was his PTSD. He didn't like seeing kids hurting, and that haunts him today.
Hi, I'm Heather with Memoirs of World War II. Thank you for watching this episode of our series, Conversations with a Veteran. We are dedicated to reaching as many World War II veterans as we can before they are no longer with us, but we cannot do it alone. If you'd like to help us in this mission, consider supporting us on Patreon and visit memoirsofworldwar2.com for more information. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our short film series where we feature a different veteran's story every month. In these short documentaries, you get to hear from the veterans themselves in an emotional and visceral way, seeing the sights and hearing the sounds that they experienced as they fought to bring an end to the greatest conflict that the world has ever seen. Again, thank you for watching and sharing these videos, and thank you for your support.
I'm going to always play the ending of that particular group because they come out with that spiel, so you guys can go and look up this website, Memoirs of World War II. There's one called War Stories, stuff like that. You go in there and subscribe. Even subscribing is a way to support these groups. But you're going to want to do that. if you want to keep up with this type of stuff. I really like this stuff. I know it's not for everybody. I don't know why it keeps wanting me to upgrade to Windows 11. I don't want to do it. I've already seen it and I don't like it. Everybody's got their own thing. Now it does say I'm YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Blah blah blah. Not sure why I'm getting that. It keeps jumping between excellent health and that. It doesn't give me a thing to fix on that. So let's there is okay. I did have a request. First one was Meanie Manny's. Let me click on it so I can see the actual title of it so I can search it proper. I don't want to hear it. Okay, exclusive. Ears open, sir. Eyeballs, click. Ears open. Sir, see if I can't find it this way. Why did my brain collapse as I was typing? Eyeballs, click. Like I said, I think we're gonna do some music that I'm just gonna randomly look up, maybe various people. See if I can't find it off of just that's it right there, very first one. It only shows that I watched a tiny bit of it, but that's more because I was trying to find it before. So let's start this from the beginning, obviously. This one was again Meanie Manny. This was his request. I haven't watched it really, so it looks like it's going to go through some marine stuff. Looks like basic, at least for the Air Force. I'm going to guess it's basic for them too. We'll see what's going on here.
Sit up straight. Aye, sir. Sit up straight. Aye, sir.
Oh, you'll hear me say basic. I know other groups call it things like a boot camp or something to that manner. It all means the same thing. It's your initial inauguration into the military. You're training. You're beating out of your old self to become part of a unit, basically. Also, in the Air Force, we call them TIs. That's a technical instructor, where it may be a DI or DS somewhere else, drill instructor or drill sergeant, mattering which branch you're in. Hoorah, drill instructor.
Your drill instructors are your most visible example of what it means to be a Marine. Their dedication to duty and willingness to sacrifice will ensure that you are properly trained and able to continue the legacy of the Corps. Your senior drill instructor, he's easily identified by his campaign cover and black duty belt. Assisting him are his drill instructors. They are easily identified by their campaign covers and green duty belt, highly shined brass waist plate. I will now have your drill instructors reaffirm their oath to you and the Marine Corps by giving them the drill instructor's creed. Each of you should listen very carefully. Although this creed constitutes their responsibilities to you, you should think about your responsibilities to them as recruits. These recruits are entrusted to my care.
These recruits are entrusted to my care.
I will train them to the best of my ability.
I will train them to the best of my ability.
I will develop them into smartly disciplined,
I will develop them into smartly disciplined,
physically fit, basically trained Marines.
basically trained Marines,
Thoroughly indoctrinated in the love of Corps and country.
thoroughly indoctrinated in love of Corps and country.
I will demand of them
I will demand of them
and demonstrate by my own example
and demonstrate by my own example
finest example of personal conduct,
the finest example of personal conduct,
morality,
morality,
professional skills.
and professional skills.
Senior Drill Instructor, take charge of these recruits, and make them United States Marines.
Aye, sir. My name is Sergeant Story. I am your senior drill instructor. I'll be assisting my duties by drill instructor, Sergeant Nichols, drill instructor, Sergeant Fontes, and drill instructor, Sergeant Thompson. Our mission is to train each one of you to become a United States Marine. A Marine is characterized as one who possesses the highest military virtue, obeys all orders.
Before we go any further, I'd like to say this is actually very similar for at least the Air Force branch. I'm pretty sure it's similar for the Navy and Army also. You go through this introduction stage. We didn't have, obviously, our drill instructors didn't have the same creed. I can't remember what they did. They did do some creed. I think it has something to do with drilling the 3 cores of the Air Force in, which was intelligence, integrity, and I always forget the last one because it didn't start with an I. I still called it the 3 I's. I can't remember why. But integrity was probably the biggest one that they would try to get into you. But it was intelligence, integrity. I think the last one was responsibility. But yeah, we went through this introduction thing. We had our head TI, Staff Sergeant Archuleta, and he introduced the other 3, which were all senior airmen, which I only remember Senior Airman Rodriguez. She was I want to say she was Puerto Rican also, just like Archuleta was. She was either Puerto Rican or Cuban. I think she was Cuban. She was a black Cuban. And she had a mean streak in her, too. It didn't mess with her. She got along fine with me, but certain airmen in there, woo, no. But yeah, we went through something similar to this. We would sit down just like this. You're pretty much feel like you're sitting down at attention. If you look at these guys, they're sitting a certain way. They're all straight up, backs up. You don't really see too many of them hunching, like maybe the guy right in the middle, closest to the bottom of the screen. See him hunching a little bit, but if you look at the rest, they're all pretty much, I call it sitting at attention, because you're trying to pay attention. But this is very, very similar throughout the branches. I'm pretty, well, at least Marines and Air Force, I'm pretty sure Army and Navy would be darn near identical. There's a structure to basic training or boot camp that they're trying to get through, and what they're trying to do is take what you've already been your whole life, sort of strip that down to just the stuff that they want, need, and then they educate you into their way. It's a way to become a unit, one group, so you're not out. You don't want to be a full-on individual, basically, out there doing your own thing in battle. You need to work as a group. You have to have your individual ideas, because that's how you come up with these ideas of ways to save each other and stuff like that, or whatever is going on with this particular battle. But they want you to work as a group, and this is the beginning of it.
Respects his seniors and starts constantly at his best in everything he does.
Oh, let me ask. No, Meanie, I didn't really have females. When I went in, it was like 96. We had a female flight. So we had us, we had a brother flight, and a female flight. Now, we never really trained with the female flight outside of graduation. When we graduated, we did the whole marching thing as one big group. We were Flight 193. I can't remember what the girls' flight was. The other Senior Airman Bullies was, I want to say Flight 192. And we were a little different than the rest of the groups in basic because we were in an area called Alcatraz. It was the only dorm in that area, where on the other side of the base, we had 2 other dorm groups. There were groups of dorms, one we called Disneyland, because heck, in Chow you could go up and get ice cream and they didn't yell at you. And I can't remember what we called the other one. That nobody wanted to be at Alcatraz, because Alcatraz was right across from the honor guard, and they would sit there and they would drill you too. And my Staff Sergeant Archuleta was part of the honor guard, so we really learned how to march very well. That's why I say I wasn't quite the prototypical Air Force like a lot of people want to call Chair Force. My group actually went to war, and then also in my basic, we had a much stiffer basic than the other groups did. And it's not to say that they didn't have it rough in their own way. They didn't have it the Alcatraz way, when you're by yourself alone, right near the front of the base, so everybody can see you. And we could not. you did not get out of that seat in chow except for to take your tray over, or you were allowed to get up and get more of this really thick, nasty, sweet juice we had. So the girls weren't really in our flight so much, but they wore in the squadron, and the only time we ever did anything with them outside of outside of the graduation parade stuff was when we did they call it the confidence course when I was in. I hated that term. It was an obstacle course. You're trying to get over obstacles. You build confidence by getting over those obstacles, but to me it was an obstacle course. We all ran at the same time. They let the girls go first and then us, but I caught up to our flight of girls, passed them all up. I was a track star, so long distance runner, so for me it wasn't all that hard. And we're watching people falling into nasty, murky water when they're doing like high bars and stuff like that, the monkey bars. But no, not so much in our flight. They were in our squadron. We didn't really do anything with them. I'm going to guess that's different now. I don't know.
Experience are the hallmark of a Marine. Each of you can become a Marine if you develop discipline spirit.
Yeah, we did have a female TI. You would have respected her, though. I didn't see the DIS. Yeah, we had a female TI. But that chick thought she was in the Marines. Just put it that way.
Even as some of you have given up on yourself, starting now, you will treat me and all other Marines with the high respect. But we are earning a place of Marines. We will accept nothing less of that from you. We will treat you as we treat our fellow Marines, with firmness, fairness, dignity, and compassion. And
along with that female DI or TI in our case, when you were a DI or TI that wasn't the main instructor, it's because you were there training to get your own flight. So she was training to get her own flight, which would have been a female flight. Any head female instructor would be was the head of a female group. Towards the last 2 weeks of our basic, we got a new senior airman who used to be a goalie, I guess, in the NHL. He was this big, huge guy, and he expected me to hard ass. He was like the biggest teddy bear. I remember even telling him, I was like, "You're gonna have to be harder. You're gonna have to be harder to be able to do this with the other guys. Right now, it's fine for you to be like this because you're in training and stuff like that." But I remember telling him, because he would talk to us. I told him straight up. I said, "You're gonna have to be harder." I'm old. I was older than most of the people there. I was 23. There was one other guy older than me. He was 26. He was a Puerto Rican National Guard guy. But I said, there's plenty of people in our group. We had something like 4 17-year-olds, and the rest were all 18. I don't think we had anybody except for me and the other guy above 18. I said, you're going to have to be harder because these guys, they're 17, 18 years old. They're very rebellious. The only way to train them is to really get into it. I forgot I had my TV turned up a little bit. Hopefully it hasn't bothered you. Rambo's on. I'm full military today. But yeah, we had her. She was, but she was tough. She was tough. Senior Airman Rodriguez. She was, you would have liked her, Meanie. Let's just put it that way. I'm telling you. She yelled louder than this guy.
When you physically abuse another Marine or recruit, if you feel you have been abused or mistreated, I expect you to report such incident to myself or one of my drill instructors. My drill instructors and I will be with you every day, everywhere you go. Now,
not to say we also had more than 4. Our standard was 4. Then we got the added guy, and even Senior Airman Rodriguez, she came in like a week or 2 after, so she was added. So we had 6, plus our brother and our sister flights TIs were allowed to, and since their dorms are, like our brother flight was kitty corner to us, and the female flight, there was a door between us and them actually on the other side of the dorm. So we were around them all the time. So we had like 12 or so TIs always watching us, not to mention the honor guard and all that. But some of the female TIs were tougher because one of our female flights TI, she was a big old lady too. I don't even know how she passed her regs every year, because there's no way that lady was huge. It's like, holy crap! I know they can have more body fat as a female in the military, but she was a big lady. I know some stuff that happened after I left, like she got kicked out. I know that. I remember hers she beat up an actual male recruit. I know that much. I can't remember if that's why she got kicked out or. But a lot of the other TIs were using substances to stay awake. My brother flight's TI being one of them, and Senior Airman Bully. Yeah, he had a name all right. Hated that guy.
My drumsters and I will do. From you, we demand the following. Give 100% of yourself at all times. Obey our orders instantly, willingly, and without question. Treat all Marines and recruits with courtesy and respect. You will not physically abuse or verbally threaten another Marine or recruit. Be completely honest in everything you do. A Marine never lies, cheats, or compromises. Respect the rights and properties of all others. A Marine never steals. You must work hard to strengthen your body. Be proud of yourself and the uniform that you wear. Try your best to learn the things you will be taught. And above all else, never quit and never give up. You will not run a lateral walk. You will power walk. Hard walk is nothing more than one step slower than run, one step faster than walk. You will not double time or do any facing movements while in shower shoes. And no time when you take a weapon.
You watch his arms. His elbows are always like this. It's really weird.
With the weapon, without being able to find drill instructor. Do you understand that? Yes, sir! Do you understand that? Yes, sir! From this point forward, at any time you hear a fire alarm sound, you will close all my portholes.
There's something I do got to say on this, though, Meanie. I don't know how it is. I'm having a hard time. Hopefully, you guys aren't getting a lag or anything, because I'm getting a lag on my other PC, but I think it's just my other PC because I haven't rebooted it in a while, and it does that. Just let me know if we are. I think it's just my PC because let me close this out, and if I close that out, I don't know why this keeps popping up. I already deleted all that. Should help with my CPU a tiny bit. Let's close out the alarm clock too. Alright. Your guys' flight seems smaller than what I had. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks close, but it still looks smaller. Like my group wouldn't have fit in this square. See where it ends right here, and then over to here. Unless this is going way farther back. Oh, I don't want that. Unless this is going way farther back. I think you guys had smaller flights than us. Of course, when I went in, there was a lot of recruits going in. It was spring, so.
Charge my lights, get platoon formation in front of my house, facing away from my house. Do you understand that? Yes, sir!
This is Black Friday, the first you meet your main DIs.
And you will use it, you understand that? Yes, sir! My stairs are no longer stairs, they're ladder wells, you understand that? Yes, sir! My wall is no longer a wall, it's a bulkhead. My windows are no longer windows, they're portholes. My bathroom is no longer a bathroom, it is a freaking head. Do you understand that?
You guys call it a head, we call it a latrine. Yeah, I think we had 73 in ours. I remember correctly, we didn't end with 73, but we started with 73. 73 or yeah, it was 73. They got the crappy cami that I didn't like. It looked like foreign uniforms to me. Look how small that guy is in the middle. Holy crap. What is it, like 5'2"? Oh, they recruited a kid. Toss the bed. This reminds me of the first night, because we got off at midnight of the bus. They dumped everything on us. Didn't matter if you did it right or not, you got it dumped. See that T.I. right there, the one that's pushing him? He ain't got no damn voice. You hear him? Yeah, ended with 72. Yeah, I can see that because you got people that wash back, right? Yeah, people that wash back, Meanie. I got to start calling you Manny. I keep saying Meanie and it feels weird. We started with 73. We downgraded because we had a lot of people wash back, mostly because they failed the obstacle course. It's like green light, red light. You tell them to stop moving, they gotta stop where they at. Yeah, I was never down with those camis, man. Oh, you had 80 and went to 72. Okay, so you lost 8. That's not too bad. I mean, we were down to about 50 or 48 or something like that. I can't remember what the number was. This is the type of stuff I like to watch, by the way. We had a couple of injuries. I don't remember how many. Yeah, remember, it's been 26 years since I was in basic training. Ooh, it's getting hot in my room. Let's turn the air on here. Almost exactly, because I got off the bus at midnight. It was March 1st, my birthday. I turned 23 right when I got off the bus. This guy over here at the very end, you could tell he's tired, man. You can see him sweating. You can see him breathing sort of heavy. He's got that heavy backpack on, so he's leaning forward. Uh-oh. There's another line on the other side we can't see. That's why you see him running over there talking the other line. Manny would know this, though, because he was a Marine. So. But that's the same thing in the Air Force. We had multiple lines, too. I'm smiling a lot because this actually reminds me, look. I smile a lot because this actually reminds me of basic training. I don't know how the rest of the Air Force had it. I know how we had it in Alcatraz, and I know what I saw at Disneyland, and God, I can't remember the other one. It was another name like that. We called it Disneyland. Like, it was easy compared to what we had, and they knew it. They knew it because they had to come to Alcatraz when they cleaned out their chow hall and stuff. and they couldn't go there for the day. They found out real fast you can't get up for ice cream. You can't get up for anything except for to dump your tray or to get more of this nasty, sugary, thick, syrupy Kool-Aid. They said you had to have 3 cups of every meal because it was full of sugar for the carbs because you're going to burn that energy. It was just nasty thick, dude. You tried to drink that stuff. It wasn't, I don't know how they got. But this is how I had it at Alcatraz. This was the same. The way they're running around, the way you toss that, the way you got to respond instantly, all that fun junk. And this is to condition you to do certain things, to follow orders properly, to work as a group. It is not to make you a robot like some people might want to say, but you'll have some robotic sort of feels to it. It just wants you to be able to work as a group, so you're working in a fashion you're working easier, and it is faster instead of just working hard. But yeah, that's why I'm smiling the whole time. It reminds me of it. Yeah, I figured it's the same as the Air Force. Of course, these guys look like they're on first floor. Our dorms were on the second floor. The first floor was reserved for the squadron commander and all that. So we always had to run up and down stairs, up and down stairs, up and down stairs all day long. Well, he got so mad he lost a button. He had to rebutton up.
Who does not have their sea bag right now? You got 30 seconds to look at it right now. Okay, 0, 0, 3. Keep moving, keep moving. Keep fucking going. I'm lost.
Somebody's moving.
If I tell you to do something right now, that means if I told you.
Now, I like these guys. They remind me. It just reminds me so much of Basic. I miss. For me, Basic was fun. I knew it was hard. It had a certain type of stress to it. Most of it was a mind game. But to me, it was fun. But I went in older than most. Woo! He got scared. Look at him sweating. Look at this guy. The very first guy over here at the end. He's just a puddle of sweat. This is probably like spring or summertime, like Paris Island or something like that, where it gets hot and humid.
You do not look at me or any other drill instructor unless you told eyeballs. Do you understand that?
Eyeballs.
I say lock it up. You would say drill that had eyeballs go back to the front. Do you understand?
We had that in the Air Force too. Eyeballs. Eyeballs. Constantly. Eyeballs. Woo, he's tripping over people's shit. Dude, that guy's voice is broken.
Position of attention is your 2 fists, your thumbs on your bouncing palm back, stand up tall, look straight ahead. Do you understand that?
Same way. Paying attention.
Lock it up.
How you march too in the Air Force. Your fist sort of like this. Your thumb like this. I think it was 6 to the front, 12 to the back while you walk. March.
Yes, sweethearts. That volume will not cut it on my watch. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. We're going to try again. If not, we're taking the sea bags and we're going to the 3rd deck with them. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
This is the shit, man.
Go, lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Keep looking at me. Well, left, turn, nod, and we back to the idiots. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
The way this drill instructor stands when he points at people and he lifts that shoulder a certain way. I can't do it. But it makes me want to laugh every time. I'm going to say this for anybody who is thinking about going into the services. Doesn't matter which branch. It all seems to be the same when I watch this when it comes to certain things they do. The Marines, I still say, is definitely a harder basic or boot camp or whatever. is longer. They did extend the Air Force from 6 to 8 weeks now, I believe it is. But they're trying to get different things out of these different people. You know, the Marines and the Army, man, they're looking for people who are going to be willing to be fighting, like real sort of physical. In the Air Force, a lot of what they're going to do is mental. I'm not sure about the Navy. We all pick on the Navy. If I said what was on my mind right now, I might get canceled. They got it tough too. Trust me, I wouldn't. The thing though I'm trying to say here though is expect this when you get there. Even when you do everything perfect the whole time you're in basic or boot camp or whatever you want to call it. You saw how that guy got his bag dumped. He probably did nothing wrong, but he has to make an example. He has to do something. He's going to dump it. He's going to dump it. You're going to get your bags dumped. You're going to get your beds flipped. You're going to get woke up at odd-ass times of night. You go into bed at like 9, 10 o'clock, and they're in there at midnight. They'll pick up a bed that somebody is on, like because they have single levels and dual. The single level ones, they'll pick them up, and bam, 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 with the guy in the bed, picking it up and slamming it to the ground. They'll do it. It doesn't matter how perfect you are. You're going to get it at least once. At least once while you're in basic. And I'm going to guess in boot camp, since it's much longer, you're going to get it more than once. It may be the same in all branches. I'm pretty sure a lot is very similar meaning. Look, he didn't even do anything wrong. I'm starting to think that's that TI's duty right there, because he's the one doing all the dumping. The other guy with no voice, he does that weird sort of get right in your face, sort of shark hands pointing thing while he's trying to scream. And then you got your main TI who's giving all the instructions. Look at the sweat on his arms. Look at that sweat. Something you all didn't realize. You look how small these guys are. The Marines aren't looking for those big, bulky guys that they always show on TV. The average weight is something like 150 pounds. They want you to be mobile, agile, athletic, be able to go long distances for a long time. So I think the average weight was 150 or 155. It's the same with the Air Force. We call the Navy the fat boys because they seem to be heavier. I've been out for so long, I don't want to say.
Why is your mouth open? Why are you looking down?
Because he's breathing.
Anyway, ears. You do not have a footlocker if you don't have a what? Footlocker. You do not have a footlocker if you don't have a what? Footlocker. Get one right there now. You're what? I'm a Marine, and Marines are freaking hard. You understand that? Yes, sir. You get corrected. Oh, damn well. That means you should have been doing what you're told to do from the get-go. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Do you understand me? Yes, sir.
I want to go back to basic just to do this. Wake up early, get yelled at a bit. This guy right here, he has no voice. Even the TIs or DIs, the DIs are sweating, man. Hey, Manny, is this first or like second day? I mean, they're out here during the day. Like I said, I came in at night, and we didn't get our uniforms till the next day. So I'm gonna guess this is like second day, but the first real introduction type thing.
And you will say, instruction. I will say, instruction.
First Friday.
You run towards me like
Look at that sweat, man. The reason I figured it wasn't the very, very first day is they know some of the instructions already. And outside of our 7 words, we didn't know any of our instructions till the next day. Sir, Airman Barnes reports as ordered. That was what I had to do before I talked.
Why are you still moving? I'm not playing with you at all. You understand me? Yes, sir! You understand me? Yes, sir! You understand me? Yes, sir! When I say do something, you do it as fast as humanly possible. You understand that? Yes, sir! If y'all want to take your time coming towards me, get the fuck on out there. Yes, sir!
Six, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are they saying none? Yeah, we got all our stuff. So, Meanie's over here telling me because he was a Marine, so he knows this a little bit better than I do. And I've been out for quite a long time, but that seems to be very similar right there. You get your stuff in the first 3. So, that first night we do a lot of yelling. They give you some basic instructions like learning your 7 words. In our case, our 7 words were Sir, Airman, blah, 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 reports as ordered. So in my case, Sir, Airman Barnes reports as ordered. Before we could say anything. After you say it the first time, you don't have to keep repeating it, though. Just when you're initially talked to, when they say something to you, like, Airman Barnes, what'd you do? Sir, Airman Barnes reports as ordered. Airman Barnes did this. After that is a regular conversation for the most part. But yeah, that first day, if I remember correctly, we went, we stood in line to get our uniforms. We had a couple of more meetings, some more paperwork that we may have had to sign. The second day, we did the haircuts, some more meetings. And the third day, I believe, was inoculations. I'm trying to think. Oh, and blood. We had to do give some blood because, well, apparently I'm rare because at A negative there was only like 3 of us. I was like, man, yeah, can you take a little extra? I might need this if we go to war. But yeah, that was like the first 3 days. After that was all marching stuff. Like, I mean, you get some of that in the first 3 days too, but not as much as after. Those first 3 days, yeah, it was similar. So yeah, very, very similar in the military. From what I've seen from the new Air Force and stuff on some of their stuff, when I watched their pages, I'm like, man, I think they got a lot softer. It was a lot more like what you're seeing here when I went in. Memories. Memories. I need to talk to somebody that's gone through the Air Force Basic recently and see what has changed. Because this is a lot closer to what we did. He's saying turn up my volume right now like he wants me to get louder. Dude, that's like a concrete slick floor too, isn't it, Meanie? First 3 days you don't shower, sleep, and you do eat bologna. Ugh, I hate bologna too. I would have hated that. I hate bologna. I like this, man. It gives so people understand what they're getting into when they go in. Their arms are getting tired. You see them trying to grab different points, moving them. In and out, in and out, in and out. You're never too loud in the Marine Corps. Some people, yeah, you'll still, like, I knew what to expect. I grew up a military brat. My dad was Air Force. My grandpa was Army Air Corps. My stepfather was Air Force. And the basic I got wasn't much different than theirs. But the basic I've seen on YouTube for the Air Force, a lot softer than what I remember. What I remember is a lot more like this. Not exactly, but it was the same feel, that same sense of urgency. And you look at this right here, when you're young, you're going to think this is difficult, this is hard. You can see the second line over here, finally. But really, what are they doing? They're making them run a little bit. They're yelling a little bit. This is all. A lot of this is mental with a little bit of physical in it. You're not getting your ass kicked. Well, you may in the Marines. I've heard some stories. You're not getting your ass kicked, though. You're not got a gun to your head or anything like that either. There's nothing too difficult about this. You're just trying to follow orders. Do the best you can. You're going to get yelled at. But I like this. This is just, it reminds me of when I was in. The only thing I don't like is I don't like those uniforms, man. That style of camo, I'm just not a big fan of it. To me, it just looks very, I don't know, European, German or something. Whoops. But yeah, you're right, Meanie. What I get myself into. Eyeball.
This point forward will be done with speed, intensity, and volume. Do you understand that? Yeah.
And volume. Like you said, you never be loud enough.
Why are you closing your eyes? Why is your mouth open? Why are you leaning against my post? I know we're in target position of tension, but we're not. Yes, sir. Get back in my right now. Get out. Get out.
The trash can. Hey, at least you guys had Rubbermaids. We had the big steel ones they would throw at us. They never hit us, but they threw them at us.
Get done moving. Are you done playing with me? Yes, sir. You done playing with me? Yes, sir. Ears. All the time. Okay, really, ears. All the time. get on your feet right now.
They got rid of these camis now, though, didn't they, Meanie? They went back to a more standard.
Hey, stupids. Why would every damn one of you kneel, bend? Kneel, bend, stand up. You understand? Okay, since you want to whisper, yell at me now! Is that the position of attendance? Zero. Zero. Very well, since we don't want to sound off again, Warback's holding straight up front of you right now.
I was used to this right here. We did that too, holding stuff out, whatever it was. But I was sort of used to it because I played a lot of basketball and stuff, and we had an ex-Marine that was our ninth grade basketball coach, Coach Beasing, and that's what he would do. We'd have to do that with a basketball. And you think basketball's not that heavy, but you hold your arms straight out for a period of time, you feel it. And then we had the encyclopedias. We had to hold our arms open like this. So I was used to that. By the time I went there, it was like, yeah, my arms would get numb, but I knew how to deal with it.
I tell you what, I will smoke your little butts every day, everywhere we go. I tell you something, if you cannot hear what I say because I'm losing my voice because I'm putting 110%, that means you need to pay attention to what other recruits are doing. Do you understand that? Yes, sir! You understand? Yes, sir!
Same. I thought they switched them just recently. Maybe it was just the Army.
Do you understand that? Yes, sir! Do you understand? Yes, sir!
I think this cami would work great in a jungle though. So and the Marines do end up in a lot of jungle warfare. So
You are dead. Today, you understand me? Yes, sir! Any day was, I don't have
going on them beaches and stuff into the jungles. So, I mean, it makes sense. Is that the end already? That feels so short. It was 30 minutes, but 27 minutes, but it still felt short. So that's Sergeant Nichols, the past, the present. I'm sure Motos is short for motivation. You got to do your own there, Meanie, where you could do something like that. Maybe tell some stories on your thing. Maybe I have to interview you like I'm going to do Cloud. Cloud had some music. Let me see what his was that he wanted me to do. Give me a second to find it here, guys. He sent it to my DM on Discord. I also have a Gilded. I have to look at what the Gilded name is. It's a similar thing to Discord. I'll one of these times I'm gonna have to put all that stuff onto the stream so you guys can get it all. My Discord itself is free. That's mostly my gaming stuff. But at least you guys will know when I'm going live. So Marcy's Playground, top it, Wave Motion Gun. Let me see what the title is when I go into. But hopefully there's no problem with this one. I know Facebook can be picky about copyrights because Capitol Records Inc. released in '99. I'm not sure I can do this one or not. Is this like a cover? Wave Motion Gun. Let me see here. I know we're going to do it. If they make me... I don't want to do it off that way. So let's... this guy sort of upset me recently, but that's more political type stuff than anything else. Let me see. Whoa. I didn't say to play anything just yet.
I'm back on the...
Well, I haven't seen that one yet. It's only 3... I haven't seen most of this stuff yet, so... Let's do a little... I think he goes by Asa, not Asa or Asa. What is this called? Huaru? It's a cryptive. You know how I want to do is Blind Sight and stuff, too. Maybe I'll do some of his... we're going to randomly do stuff, so we're not always going to know what's going to go on. There will be like certain suggestions, like the one I did for Meanie. The one I did for myself is in the beginning, the World War II one. Then I did Meanie's, and then I just did one for NCloud. So I'm going to take so many requests, and then I'm going to try to just find new stuff like this randomly. But Haru X, Cryptive X, Asa Over the Top. Let's hear what this.
I'm back on my bullshit, these lyrics is bullets, I'm packing a full clip. I used to be hopeful these rappers would notice, but I don't need no one to back me, I'm focused. The status be goated, I'm actually cold, I be packing a coat when I'm rapping, it's slow and detaching from...
Wait. My status? Does he say my status be goated? He's good. Like, I can't rap myself. I can write. I can't rap myself. I don't think I can, at least. I can sort of do an angry type of rap, but that's about it. And it's still not great, but I don't want to knock this guy at all because he actually raps pretty good. I'll keep my personal feelings out of it, though. He raps well, but all his raps to me sort of do sound... There's a certain speed to him. Even though he'll go faster and slower, it's a feel of the speed. It's not so much the speed itself, but his stuff is good. And I like that he does different stuff. I just wish he would lay off certain other things.
These rappers would notice, but I don't need no one to back me, I'm focused. The status be goated, I'm actually cold, I be packing a coat when I'm rapping, it's snowing, detaching from socials. I don't care if I don't have as many likes on the gram when I'm posting, yeah. They try to play me like I'm just a producer, but I bring the kicks and punches Hadouken. Ryu on the mic, you know that I do this. Used to being tested, bitch, I'm a student. Study the game, everybody else truing. Jump on the mic and you know that I'm schooling. Nobody hot as me, baby, so cool it. Nobody hot as me, baby, so cool it.
Absolute zero, that's the degrees. My attitude here, don't rap to compete.
Wait a minute. So he has, these are different people on it. So Asa was the first one, I believe. Oh no, that was Haru. He sounds a lot like Asa. So this right now is Cryptive that's on. Let's back it up a little bit, giving them their props so that...
So, cool it.
Absolute zero, that's the degrees. My attitude here, don't rap to compete. Them atoms move, you're packing the heat. With a blasted you, widows like a trapeze. I shoot in a tight group with the cable is transfer tuned. It that energy, you bet at this treasure. After jewels, hit your damage delete. I'm passing you, hero lapping the beat. I got a shit unlocked with the pockets I hop in. Y'all let's get it rocked if you wanted to box him. You talking to a guy with no obvious conscience. So walking on your block and I'm off in his squadron. They all die. I'm clipping your wings, thinking y'all block. Keep him in check with a piece if they best for the fleece. The shit easiest trackers to be, the crowd is all mine. Bitch,
you never will see me, you all blind. You a legend and seeing a legacy, it's a legend. MC's illegible, you seeking a legend, you all dive. Only way you see you a legend, you all lies. I'ma begin the cut in a predicament. Any critic thinking of frivolous, spit the dust, yeah, I bet he does. Nobody does, spit that buzz bigger than you ever was. Cause I diminish him with a miniature miniature. They say we going OTT, the ODD, ITY, your CDs, ODCs to deceive you proceeds. Patterns gonna fuck you up, call it OCD, huh?
Like I said, man, he's good. I want to see him try something really different, though, and do some of that old school 90s and mid-90s type rap, sort of that slower, like, he didn't have to be gangster about it, but that slower sort of gangster rap that like NWA did and stuff like that. I want to hear his voice when he's doing that. I think he could do it, and I think it would sound really good. But most of his stuff is just really fast stuff, you know. I'm clipping and kipping and tipping and hipping, you know. I just made up words as I was going along there, but I just think he could be better. Maybe it's like me with video games. If I play a video game and I see the potential for it and it never reaches that potential, I get mad at that video game. Even if that video game's a really good video game. It could have been better. So I see potential with him that he may not, or maybe he does see it. And he can rap. He's a very good rapper. So I'm not going to take any of that away, but let's go on.
If enemies wanna dance, it's a hold down. Think you heat, then your ass will get hosed down. Ask a BM, just smash, bet that hold down. Shout out the team, yeah, the pack, what I hold down. Hop on the beat and I'm snapping his node out. I got the fleece on my back like it's cold. I'll vanish like abracadabra. Came back like what happened, it's magic. They asking to show how. No way, you know how. You don't get out, shown whenever we show out. You just sound old, but we bring in the old sound. The name is Household, taking over the whole house. Woo. No debating, we to go. Get out the paper, you gotta pay to be this dope. Me crippin' ace around the game, it's the fleece of gold. Shout out Kirk and Jib when we spray and then leave them ghosts. Yeah, my flow kettle hot. I sell dope, no, I don't pedal rap.
I like
Doing it
this.
with my eyes closed in a blindfold. Just know I won't settle for no sideshow. Second spot.
Rap the fleece, my dude, testing me, you school. Best MCs to do, left the seasoned tunes. Pressure me to move in the heat, to pull the metal to your face, a recipe for doom. I find you tap.
So far, right now, although the voice is a little off for me, Cryptive has been my favorite. But that verse right there, let's see if I can get it. Where are we at? 201 right now. Like, I can't get every word, but let me see here.
Tunes pressure me to move in the heat to pull the metal to your face, a recipe for doom. I find your top 10.
Like that recipe for doom thing, man.
In my shadow all the time I'm on it. Before sundial show, he's like, I clocked him. He get hands in his face, did a finish him. Bit of nemesis in the premises, getting this extended clip with the pen and ink. Within a blink, I grip it, then spit it like a chopper. Show, but I got no trick of discipline. You have a heart, can't rap as hard. One track and he gone blasted apart. Land in a box, you get your SB when you rap shadow box. Catch after shocks from my back catalog.
Rappers to talk, you are under me. I'm cold as fucking keep it a wonder. You know one that doesn't agree, I'ma come with a fleece and fucking feast. You a feet, I wanna feed, wouldn't be your feet to feed as a foot. I think I'm on the brink. You ain't gonna win on a whim. I could take any semblance of a fan base you have gained since late 2010. You were too old to try to be making it then. I'm half your age and I have ascertained more passion than you claim to display. You pretend it's like a sleepover when Jake gets a pen. I go in and then stay. I stay going in. They think it a weak all cause my deep songs. But if you wanna beef, y'all know my team strong. When my heart on my sleep with the Glock in a reach. So when
you want to beef all, my team strong.
Asa.
Yeah, it is Asa. So if I were to group what I liked about, like I like the very basic beat of it and everything. I do like the speed of it and everything. Like I said, I wish Asa himself would try something in that old 90s. Maybe I haven't, because I haven't done a lot with him. Maybe I haven't heard it and he has. But I could see him doing something like that. I want to hear his voice when he's doing that and he's not just speeding it up and slowing it down, speeding it up, slowing it down. For me, Haru on this one probably had the best voice. Like if I was going to listen to somebody rap daily, I could do Haru's voice. The one that felt to me like they went in hardest, as in like the lyrics just seemed to go with it, was Cryptive. Asa was the best rapper. Asa was the best rapper in the group for me. It's hard to do that skill level with that speed rap. Just trust me when you're getting your tongue to twist like that. So each one of them had their best at something like that. Like I said, if I was going to listen to somebody every single day, it would have probably been Haru out of that. Huaru. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Because I can listen to that voice. And then Cryptive. Basically, if you took Cryptive's lyrics and the attitude they put into it, into Haru's voice, and then the way that Asa can change out that speed and everything with his tongue and everything, and you gave that to Haru, that would be the perfect rapper. But that's why you got three of them rapping, because no such thing as a perfect rapper. But I like that bass beat in the background too, that more subtle. Okay, let's go with somebody we all know, because I haven't. There's a couple of songs I haven't listened to on purpose. I smell dinners there. I'm going to be getting off with you. Even when other reactors have done it, I didn't listen to it on purpose because I didn't want to ruin it. Like I would get the gist of the beat. Like you see, like it's played out, but that I wasn't listening. Is it this one? I think it was the In God We Trust.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. I'm
going to start off from the beginning. So you get this guitar rip in the beginning. I'm going to guess it's because of the guy down here in the corner. We all know Adam Calhoun, Nova, Tom. I know the other guy, and I can't remember his name. I'm going to... wait. Oh, Struggle. That's who it is. Okay. I knew who it was. Tom doesn't waste a lot of time getting into the music. You're about to see that real quick when I hit play again. He's just going to go straight into it.
They separate us from our neighbors and they call it social distancing. It's actually a bigger plan. It's called social conditioning. They took away our privacy. There's always someone listening. The elections planning riots for the citizens. The government has always lied. It's history repeating. But the problem is the schools dumb you down so you believe them. If you try to speak the truth inside a tweet, then they delete it. Whole administration Satanists who claim they praise in Jesus. Every year there's a new name for enemies that we're facing. It's Al-Qaeda, then ISIS, and now American patriots. Who would have thought those who love the country the most would be hated on by folks who call America?
You know what I find amazing about this, he's talking about loving the country the most and stuff like that. This dude, he was Canadian. He immigrated over here. He chose to make America his country for these random beliefs that are true, by the way. we're a free country. You're supposed to be able to have free speech. We're supposed to be able to disagree with each other without crying about it and trying to cancel everybody and stuff. If you have a real reason to cancel somebody, like they did something to a kid or something, that's one thing. But if you don't like what they're saying, talk with them. Point out where they're wrong. Stop being a little whiny, little crybaby. It doesn't matter what it is. My crying comes from the fact that you guys won't talk. You guys just want to say something. I look white. You guys don't realize I'm mixed. I'm less than a quarter white. Less than a quarter white. I'm actually more black than I am white, but you're not going to see it in my skin. For whatever reason, I didn't get none of the color. I'm 32% black. That's exactly what it says in the 23andMe. I know my great grandfather was from Angola and he was black. I think I have some other black in the family because one talks about his region and another talks about another part of Africa. Let's get back into it. Let me rewind just a tiny bit.
The country the most will be hated on by folks who call America home. Both political parties are equally just as evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn.
Something I believe in. Both political parties are just as evil. A lot of times I say I'm Republican. I'm not really Republican. I am conservative. That's what I am. I'm conservative. And I don't believe, and I got a lot of liberal friends. I have actually a buddy who considers himself a socialist, who I work with, who I will be interviewing on here. But I keep trying to explain to people the people are different than the politicians. The politicians are just going to say whatever they think you want to hear to get elected. Where you may actually believe in this stuff. A liberal may actually believe in, hey, we're trying to do this for the workers, blah, blah, blah. The conservatives are like, we're trying not to change the stuff that works, blah, blah, blah. Whether it's smaller government, whatever these things are. That's the people. The government, the people that are politicians, they're just like, oh, we'll do this for you, and they'll never do it. Because if they fix something, they ain't got no platform to run on the next time. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, that's perfectly right. Both sides aren't right. I have a disagreement with both sides. I am conservative. I'm probably more than likely going to vote conservative.
Is evil. They've been working for themselves, don't give a damn about the people. Black, white, yellow, brown, humanity needs you. Cause united we stand, divided they will defeat you. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lie.
I like Nova's voice.
Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. Y'all missing what was written in them pages. That was history they wrote, now you wanna change it. You racist, you hate this. Why you want us all to be locked up in cages? I can't stand the left, everything they say's depressing. Ship them to the Middle East, they can learn oppression. Believe me, I mean this quite literal. I love liberty, but I liberals. Wear a mask, stay home, complain and moan. Talk about privilege on your phone in your Range Rover, Starbucks, mango, foo-foo, whatever. The cloth I'm cut from can handle any weather. You just paper in the rain, we ain't the same. Stand for the flag, only kneel when I pray. I just pray we go back to the old days, land of the free,
I'm busy.
home of the brave. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lie.
Sorry guys, it's my mom.
Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
I see through all the illusions.
I will have to clip something out of the stream though.
Easy to get caught up, consumed by the consumer. Truth is so diluted, people starve off their confusion. Comfort is the killer, your dreams execution. Cool with persecution if I make a contribution. Home of the brave look like a mental institution, and there will be revolution if we can't find resolution. And a threat is a promise. Stand up, pay homage. They tell lies, I'm being honest. Test the time is upon us. I know that God got us, so I'm fighting in his honor. Hear the cries of the crusaders as we're strapping up our armor. Either set sail to higher ground or drown in a drama. If I die for what I love, then my death will be nirvana. We fighting for our freedom, don't believe what they've been feeding.
This is like different voice. I sort of like it, and it fits with this, that raspy sort of voice. I've heard him on other stuff too, but I'm just started getting into this independent stuff about 6 months ago. There is something apparently that heads up. We detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your your stream may be temporarily blocked, so I'll have to go through, and it's probably the one from Cloud.
Be the change you want to see, the warrior that we're needing.
The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. We don't trust the news, the government, or pharma. We just want freedom, that you have that to offer. We don't want the lies, the politics, or the drama. We just want the life that was promised by our fathers. The man on the news says the problem is me. I'm just a small town boy with big American dreams. The world's going crazy and they lying to us. Don't know who to believe, so in God we trust.
And it's hard to react to. I mean, I love that song. That's definitely going on my playlist. Heads up, we've detected copyright. Your stream may be blocked temporarily. I don't think I can cut it from here. I have to end up ending the stream. That's probably actually going to be my last one, but I want to sit there and put this on my playlist. I wanted to end it on a good note. I forgot how to do that all of a sudden. I do have them saved, but I want it. I'll go back and do it when I get a chance. But it looks like I'm going to have to clip out part of my video, guys. It's more than likely the nCloud one. I noticed it did have some copyright stuff on it. That's fine. We do what we got to do. That was my mom anyways talking about dinner, and I'm getting hungry, and it's almost 6 p.m. over here. I will be gaming later. It won't be on my YouTube, it'll be on my Twitch and my Facebook. So it'll be Time to Die, TYMETODIE on Twitch, and Time on My Side on Facebook. Just like my channel is here. If you guys get a chance, swing on by. I think I'm going to be playing a game called Enlisted, which is it's another military game, first-person shooter. It's difficult. It's not like Call of Duty, really. So if you guys get a chance, swing on by that. And let me end this so I can clip it so that I don't get screwed over by YouTube, guys. Let me do this. And you all have a great night. And thanks for coming by if you did. And if you didn't, well, hopefully you come by at some point. Otherwise, you didn't even hear me say this.